I don't know, it's just like hard when I feel judged for being the person that I've chosen to be.
The perception of how I am is just different because maybe you don't know what I come from. I was homeless with my mom when I was a kid. Like, we were living in a shelter. We like slept on couches. We pitched tents in people's backyards. I've had times that I've slept in my own car as an adult. Like, I had a job, but I had to sleep in my car at the parking lot where I work.
My parents got divorced when I was young. My mom and me and my brother, we slept in tents in people's backyards, and we had the time in the women's shelter. And with my dad, like, we would collect as many cans as we could to like help pay for life. And then I had a really unhealthy relationship that, you know, Daniel knows about that was abusive in many forms, but got physically abusive at the end. Like, I don't wish that on anyone. I've seen the ups and downs, I've seen the hard times, and I'm so grateful for an incredible husband that loves me and for beautiful, healthy children and a roof over our heads and like stable income. Like, I'm just grateful.
It's very inspiring.
I felt for her. I felt bad that she had to go there to like open up to us.
But as a friend,
but
you
at the
want
same
that.
time, I felt like this is why you put on this facade that you're so perfect sometimes.
You pretend that everything's perfect, and I think that's what people were noticing.
Okay, this is so sad to say this, but it made me feel as you're like, is she saying this to like get off? Like,
Because
hey
who
guys,
told
like, I'm
you?
gonna tell you that I was homeless, so now you can't get mad at me. You know when somebody tells you like,
Because who gave
I
you
was
that
homeless.
idea?
Well, it wasn't about.
Who started it?
Okay, it wasn't.
She brought it up
well,
first.
Janet said.
Thank
Janet
you.
was like,
She
well,
brought
I
it
don't,
up first.
Maybe she did. I don't.
She did.
Honestly, I don't know the timeline of things.
I do.
Maybe she did.
I was kind of waiting for it to make sense. I was like, maybe she'll say like, because of my past, like I hide things.
He's very sleep deprived. He needs to catch up, yeah.
I understand that I'm hiding things, but that's how I've dealt with things. But she never really made the connection. It just kind of felt like you guys shouldn't be doing anything to upset me because I've had a really rough childhood and upbringing. And to me, it did feel like trying to gain sympathy in that moment.
Or trying to get attention on a different situation, so you stopped talking about Danny because you guys felt bad for what she had been through?
Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody felt really bad because she was crying,
course.
and it completely changed the dynamic at that dinner.
And we didn't really ever talk about what was going on with Danny, and it felt like the frustrations that Brittany had, Jasmine had, I had in a smaller way, but none of those could be expressed like in that moment, because how are we supposed to respond to someone who just told us like they were homeless as a child, which obviously like all of us can feel for.
Do you think coming into that night she knew she was gonna tell you guys that story?
Yeah.
Probably.
I thought it was great that Nia was opening up about personal stuff. There was a little bit of part of me that felt like it was rehearsed. It just kind of felt like, you know, I need to have an excuse ready for why I do these things. I hope that's not what it was.
But it was like all these emotions and feelings.
But-
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to
Can I say one thing?
And
You
it
would
didn't
have
help
gotten there.
hearing other people say things.
Thank
You know,
you.
I don't know, maybe. But I
Certain
will.
people
but it's not.
started
but I'm not
that.
putting it on Janet. I'm saying like for myself, I can own that. Like I know he's trying to put it on her so bad.
Jasmine, after Nia left, was like, I'm not okay with this.
I appreciate like that we had this conversation with her. I still feel there was more about her relationship with her and Danny. That's what I kept saying over and over. It's like, let me be clear.
She just
Let me be clear.
literally poured her heart out and explained exactly why she does it.
And that was bullshit. And it just showed me how silenced I think everybody felt in that situation.
Why would I look at the negative side of things or like judge someone else? I'm just like grateful.
Personally, I'd like to stay in this house until we buy our forever home.
Check it out.
Oh, that looks so cool.
That's my goal. We're not 100% on the same page because there are days that Kristen hates the house we're in, but it's becoming our space. I'd like to be there until we're talking about school for our daughter. Or did my voice crack there?
Yeah.
He lays in bed in the morning and he's like, look at this house I found in Nashville. I think as long as he knows that I'm willing to like get out of here for periods of time, whether it's to like go to Colorado for like a month or a few weeks there and not just these like little weekend trips and we're stuck in this house, then we've made it.
Where do you envision your forever home being?
I hope a long ways from here. A long ways from here.
No, just 25 minutes, bro.
So Daniel won the 3-year debate of where we're gonna live in Santa Clarita now.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with Santa Clarita. We moved to Santa Clarita. Santa Clarita, Valencia, it ain't that far.
No.
We just closed on a house and we just went into escrow. We are up in Santa Clarita.
I'm gonna move 3 weeks before I give birth.
Got the one we wanted, very newer area.
I love the house. I'm excited about the house. I'm just not excited about the location and a brand new valley. And I don't know I know 2 people out there. Well, 2 couples. So I have some friends, but all my friends are in our valley, the valley.
But to be fair, I'm far more likely to drive to Santa Clarita than I am to West Hollywood to see Zach.
I mean, if Kristen and I purchase a house anywhere in this area, it's going to be up by then.
Exactly.
It's all Luke talks about now.
Come over to the Santa Clarita side.
Suddenly, if we buy a house in California, that's where we should definitely buy. One of his closest friends here, his mom's moving to be closer to him and his sister and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, they're going to buy a house in Santa Clarita. I was like, here we go.
There you go.
Here we go.
They have some of the best schools in the state, 9 out of 10 for almost all the schools. They have a Chili's, Panera Bread,
Love it
all the good stuff.
Love chain restaurant.
I'm trying to convince myself over here.
We probably looked at 40 houses and a lot of them up in Santa Clarita. And she just saw how much more bang for your buck you could get. And just the dream for our kids to have, a big yard and a pool and, a community that had so many other, young families in it. Once all those things started to come into play in the houses that she was seeing, when she started to say, I could move into this house tomorrow. I was like, what?
Yeah, I guess you could say Daniel won the house battle and I won the baby battle.
Quit telling people that you want to have another baby right now.
I would have got pregnant months ago. Wouldn't let me. We almost met in the middle, but it was just the price point, to be completely honest. I still want to live and travel and be able to afford to go out to dinner when I want and not be all my money is going to my house, so I can't do anything.
I don't want to be house broke either.
There is a house, a 6-bedroom house, right down the street from us.
6 bedrooms.
Same price, right down the street. Both kind of meet at a park, both the streets, so we could be neighbors.
Tell them all about it.
Yeah.
Finally, at 35 years old, I find somebody that respects and loves me, and everything's going great, except for I have a psycho ex-husband that literally calls me and texts me 100 times a day and is constantly it's always something about the schedule.
You will have her all day Friday. You will drop her off to the nanny.
Who's the nanny?
Doesn't matter who.
It does matter. Well, we're about money. So every month he tells me how much I owe him for health insurance. And he's like, you need to send it to me now because I don't have any money. And of course, it was going to take a toll on our relationship.
He said, if nothing changes, I think it's better if we're not together.
Jesse was giving me a lot of anxiety, having to deal with him on a daily basis. And it was kind of scary to know, wow, I found this guy that I truly love and I want to be with and I can see a future with. But at the same time, I have a psycho ex. And if it was in reverse, I would feel the same exact way. Yeah. He said, you can't constantly fight with Jesse, ignore the phone calls, ignore the text messages, take a step back. I knew if he was going to be somewhere, I just wasn't going. So I really avoided Jesse as much as I could.
We can talk civilly. We talk about work and, we could talk about schedule and stuff. But, I mean, as recent as the premiere, she came in guns blazing and tried to trigger me and tried to push me over the edge.
That's a problem with what's going on right now. I got it good. Brittany and I were doing really good. We had a great Easter. And then that second episode aired.
You need to go get help for yourself and for our son. He cannot grow up and become a person like you.
I'll never forgive you for this, never. And that got her good. Because now we're reliving all that now. Yeah. And that was brutal. I went to the house and she was on one. And I was like, what's wrong? She's like, I just watched the episode. And now everybody's in her ear, the messages. Now it's put me 3 steps, 4 steps, 5 steps behind again.
It's gonna make it worse for me for a while.
I mean, I think I've done a really good job at ignoring Jesse and taking him out of my life as much as I can and hiring a lawyer because we were working with a mediator and that didn't work because in order to work with a mediator, you both have to be in agreement. And so when I finally hired a lawyer, I just felt more confident instead of bullied all the time. And so we're still navigating it. It's still very difficult, but I think we're doing the best that we can.
Kristen told me what she wanted as far as a ring goes, and somewhat gave me a budget, like don't spend over this amount, which some guys might be like, yeah, whatever, you know, I'm gonna get her the biggest, most amazing thing, but I'm like, you know what? I completely agree with Kristen's take on it. Like, that is a lot of money for a ring on her finger, and it's about what it means versus how much it costs.
And it ain't little.
What do you think of that, though?
I think it's gorgeous.
I mean, it's a statement. It's a statement saying, I want to look like I have more money than you. She knew what she wanted. She did show me a picture at one point that she showed Carter years before of a ring. It's not the exact same one. She told me. She's like, well, I used to have a big board or whatever. She's like, let me see if I can find a picture of something I sent at some point. And she like searched ring and, you know, how Apple keeps all your stuff for years now. She found it and she was like, yeah, something like this.
That's the best.
Oh, when they tell you what they want?
When they tell you exactly what they want.
It's like, yes, she knows what she wants.
It takes so much pressure off of the guy to like, you know, figure everything out. Nia told me pretty much exactly what she wanted. I proposed to her while she was Miss USA. And I didn't want anything like themed or anything, but inside the band, we put a diamond, a red ruby, and a blue sapphire for red, white, and blue. So we had that on the inside.